What's going on, guys? Today I'm going to be talking about complex training for the lower body, why it's beneficial, and how you can implement it into your training so that you can see some amazing results and become a better athlete. So let's get it. So what exactly is complex training? Well, complex training is a training method that is designed to improve your explosive power. It is the combination of a heavy resistance exercise with a plyometric exercise of a similar movement pattern. For example, a heavy squat into a vertical jump. And as a result of complex training is something known as post-activation potentiation. And that's basically where we recruit many motor units at once from that heavy resistance exercise, and it carries over into the plyometric movement. So it's essentially as if it's tricking your body to recruit more muscle fibers at once than what we normally would have if we didn't do that heavy resistance movement. And that's going to lead to an increase in muscular force production and an increase in rate of force development, which means an improvement in explosive power. And research has shown that combining strength and plyometrics, aka complex training, will produce several adaptations within the neuromuscular system, which is vital for explosive movements such as sprinting and jumping. Now keep in mind, this can be done in every plane of motion, and the combination of exercises are pretty much endless. These are just some exercises that I prefer and ones that I personally like doing. But again, you can look at it, you can replace squats with deadlifts, for example, or sprints with some broad jumps. It's really up to you. So for the first complex, I have a trap bar high pull into a tuck jump. And this is by far one of my favorites. Doesn't require much space at all. And one thing to keep in mind for that heavy resistance movement, you want it to be heavy. You want it to be at least around 80% of your 1 rep max, and go for around 3 to 5 repetitions. Same thing for the plyometric movement. You want about 3 to 5 repetitions, and make sure that you do every single rep with maximal effort. The next complex I'm going to cover is the heavy sled push into the sprint. Super beneficial, especially for improving speed. I absolutely love this one. And another thing to keep in mind when it comes to that heavy movement, it should never be so heavy to the point where you're struggling to even move it. That's going to defeat the purpose. But as you can see here, this is heavy, but I'm still moving it pretty well. I'm only going about 10 to 15 yards, and then immediately after, I'm going to go into a 10 to 15 yard sprint. The next complex are heavy kettlebell swings into broad jumps, and these are wonderful for horizontal power production. You want to do around 3 to 5 heavy swings, and then go into 3 to 5 broad jumps. As you can see in the video, I just dropped the kettlebell and instantly start jumping, but you can actually set it down, take a second, and then jump. Either way, this one's a lot of fun, and it's definitely worth your time. And the last complex set that I'm going to cover are heavy step-ups into explosive step-up jumps. And these are great because it really focuses on that single leg strength and power production, which are super beneficial when it comes to athletic movements. Here I'm just going for 5 heavy step-ups, placing them down, and then I'm going to go for 5 explosive jumps. Make sure you do both sides, and again, make sure you do every single movement with maximal effort. So those are just some of my personal favorites that I like doing, but there are so many different exercises for you to choose from. For example, if you like doing hip thrusts, you can do it with some broad jumps, or you can do some heavy lunges into some lunge jumps, box squats into box jumps. The combinations are endless, but as long as you follow the principle of a heavy resisted exercise into a plyometric, and as long as they're similar in movement pattern, then you're good to go. One other thing to keep in mind, this training method is pretty advanced, so if you want to really make the best use of it, then I recommend you having at least 1 to 2 years of training before you attempt this. Well, that's it, guys. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up and go ahead and share this with everybody else who you think can benefit. And if you have any questions, just go ahead and leave it in the comment section down below and let me know what kind of videos you'd like to see in the future. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any of my content. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I'll see y'all soon.